Have you ever wondered if a habit you've had for decades could be silently harming your health? For one 74-year-old man, a routine he thought was harmless, masturbation, led to a collapse in his bathroom, not from a stroke or heart attack, but because his blood stopped moving. The culprit: 4 common habits no one warned him about. In this video, I'm Dr. from Mojit Kara, a men's health specialist with over 60 years of experience, and I'm here to reveal the shocking mistakes older men make that quietly sabotage circulation, intimacy, and vitality after 62. You need to watch until the end because these aren't just habits. They're hidden traps that accelerate aging, weaken blood flow, and steal the confidence you deserve. From retired Marines to grandfathers, I've seen men reclaim their energy and connection by unlearning these mistakes. You'll discover why rushing the act triggers vascular panic, how holding your breath chokes off circulation, why daily repetition drains your libido, and how pornography rewires your brain, starving real intimacy. Each mistake comes with simple, practical fixes to restore your vitality without pills or shame. Stay until the final moment to uncover the 4th mistake, something 90% of men over 62 do automatically. That could be silently failing your body's most vital systems. If you're ready to protect your health, reignite intimacy, and feel like yourself again, type 1 in the comments and subscribe. Don't miss this. It could change your life. If you are not subscribed, subscribe and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support means a lot to me, and if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue spreading the valuable lessons by liking and sharing it. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. Mistake 1, rushing the act, triggering vascular panic. I've had countless conversations with men, strong, proud men who sit across from me and say with a kind of raw honesty, "Doc, I just wanted a little release, something quick to take the edge off." They look me in the eye, and there's often a touch of guilt in their words. They don't realize, though, that this seemingly harmless habit, this quiet ritual they've repeated for years, is slowly eating away at the very systems that keep them vital and strong. When a man over 62 rushes through masturbation, he's unknowingly sending his body into what I call vascular panic. His heart rate accelerates and his blood vessels in the pelvic region constrict and dilate rapidly. In youth, the body can handle these surges, bouncing back quickly and adapting. But as we age, things change. The circulatory system doesn't recover with the same resilience it once did. The elasticity in the arteries has faded. There's a silent decline in the nitric oxide levels that help open those blood vessels, making the task of regulating blood flow a little harder. So what happens? Those rapid forced surges of blood, meant to invigorate and excite, end up overwhelming veins and fragile capillaries, particularly in the penis. It's not about shame. It's not about guilt. It's pure physiology, the body's natural response to the physical demands placed on it. You may not feel the effects immediately, but over time, that constant rushing, the lack of care, the strain slowly starts to erode the function of your blood vessels. It leads to micro-traumas that damage where there should be resilience. You begin to notice changes. Stiffness where there should be flexibility, fragility where there once was strength. And the toll isn't just physical, it's emotional too. Men find themselves asking, "What's happening to me?" They blame their age. They blame stress. But the truth is simpler, yet more unnerving. Their bodies are reacting to years of abuse in a region that desperately needs gentleness, not chaos. That rapid, hurried act sends the wrong signals to the body. It tells your nervous system to race when it should be resting. The body tightens in response. Blood flow is restricted. The arousal hormones needed to feel passion and connection are suppressed. All of this chips away at the foundation of physical intimacy, the very thing that holds relationships together, that keeps men feeling alive and vital. So, here's the truth. Trust your body. I remind my patients all the time how you treat your body in private echoes into everything else in life. How you sleep, how you think, how you interact with those you love. Intimacy isn't just about reaching a climax, it's about presence. It's about circulation, connection, and being grounded in the moment. When you rush, when you rob your body of the gentleness it craves, you rob yourself of the vitality that makes you feel truly alive, truly like a man. Mistake 2. Masturbating with high pelvic tension, ignoring breathing. It's something I've observed time and time again in nearly every man over 60 who walks into my clinic, seeking answers for concerns like intimacy, circulation, or energy. And while there are many factors of play, one thing stands out in nearly every case. It's not just what they're doing, but how they're doing it. During those intimate moments, most men don't even realize they're holding their breath. It's subtle, but it's there. Their shoulders rise, their bellies tighten, and the muscles around their pelvic floor, the ones so deeply connected to sexual function, contract like a fist being clenched in panic. They believe it's normal. They've been doing it this way for years, perhaps even decades, without a second thought. But let me tell you, it's not. This unconscious tension, this breathless, frantic habit during masturbation, might seem harmless at first glance. It's so common that it's often brushed aside. But what this does to your body is far from insignificant. It chokes off blood flow. It sends a signal to your nervous system that it needs to brace, not relax. Instead of allowing your arteries and vessels to open, inviting the fresh, life-giving oxygen into your tissues, this tension creates a vicious cycle, a tight, restricted environment where your circulation is blocked at its very core. It's as though you're putting your body in a chokehold and wondering why it doesn't respond the way it used to. Over time, that tension becomes a habit, and habits like these only serve to breed dysfunction. When you stop breathing, you stop flowing. And I'm not just talking about some abstract metaphor here. This is a real physiological truth. The penis, one of the most blood-sensitive organs in the entire body, depends on relaxed, smooth blood flow. It needs oxygen-rich blood to stay healthy and strong. Not pressure, not stress, not a body on high alert. But when your breath is shallow and your body is clenched in tightness, your arteries constrict. And when they constrict, they're no longer able to deliver what you need. Your nitric oxide levels plummet instead of that smooth, rhythmic circulation. You're silently suffocating the very intimacy you're trying to nurture. It's heartbreaking to watch. And I've seen it countless times in my practice. Men who look at me stunned when I ask them, "Were you holding your breath?" And they nod, admitting that no one had ever pointed out how deeply breathing affects arousal. No one ever told them how essential pelvic relaxation and deep, steady breaths are to a healthy, fulfilling erection, just as essential as testosterone itself. As we age, our bodies crave cooperation, not control. Tension in the wrong places in the most intimate of moments only leads to long-term weakness in the places we care about most. The truth is, if you're breathing shallowly, clenching your body, and rushing through the act, you're not just cutting off sensation, you're teaching your body to see pleasure as a threat. Your nervous system gets used to that fight or flight response instead of relaxation. And when that happens, the subtle, gradual effects become impossible to ignore. It's a war against your circulation, and over time it chips away at your confidence, leaving you feeling diminished. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment one below to let me know that you are still here with me. But here's the kicker, breathing is just one piece of the puzzle. Even if you manage to return to conscious breathing, there's another habit creeping in, stealing your strength differently. A habit that even when everything else seems normal, quietly steals your drive day by day. It starts with how often you're doing it. Mistake 3, daily masturbation without recovery, draining your libido reservoir. It starts so innocently, doesn't it? A seemingly harmless habit, something many men adopt in their younger years without giving it a second thought. At first, it might be a response to loneliness, stress, or a simple need to feel connected with yourself again. For some, it's a way to mark time, to take a brief pause from the demands of life. It's a small ritual, almost like an unspoken agreement with yourself. Something that you know works in the moment to alleviate the weight of the day. But as the years pass, the body changes, and with it, your needs, your rhythms, and your limits. After the age of 62, things start to slow down. The vitality of youth begins to fade, and yet the habits you've built may remain unchanged. It's so easy to fall into the trap of thinking that because it worked for you years ago, it will continue to work now, no matter your age. But your body isn't the same. It's no longer that youthful machine that could bounce back effortlessly. Recovery becomes slower. Testosterone levels don't spike as they once did, and those blood vessels that used to spring back instantly now need time, oxygen, and care to heal properly. This daily habit of masturbation, once perhaps something done in moments of boredom or stress relief, begins to take a heavier toll than you realize. Every time you indulge without giving your body the necessary time to recover, you are unknowingly draining your very reserves. The same reserves that fuel not only your energy, but your libido, your desire, and your ability to truly connect intimately. You're draining your reservoir of nitric oxide, dopamine, and even emotional desire. And the effects don't happen all at once. They creep in slowly, quietly, until you start noticing something isn't quite right. It might be subtle at first. Maybe the sensation isn't as strong or as satisfying as it once was. Maybe after a session you feel a lingering numbness in your pelvic region. It's not the vibrant response you used to feel, that quick reaction that made you feel alive. Erections start to become less responsive, more difficult to achieve, and even harder to sustain. And with this change comes a heavy feeling of detachment, a subtle emotional withdrawal from your own body. You feel tired, disconnected, even a little empty. But it's more than just physical fatigue. There's a quiet, almost unspoken sense of resentment that starts to form. Resentment not toward anyone else, but toward yourself. It's like your body is betraying you, failing to live up to the standards it once upheld without fail. It's frustrating and disheartening, and in some ways it can feel heartbreaking. You can't help but wonder, why does this keep happening? What's wrong with me? One man well into his late 60s once confided in me. Doc, I just don't feel interested in real intimacy anymore. I do it every day, but I feel nothing afterward. I could feel the weight of his words. There was a deep sadness there, a sense of lost connection both with himself and the possibility of true intimacy. And that broke my heart, because his body wasn't broken. It was simply overworked, overstimulated, and under-reovered. He hadn't given himself the time his body needed to restore its natural balance to rejuvenate the very systems responsible for arousal and intimacy. It wasn't that his desire had disappeared, it was that his body no longer had the energy or the reserves to sustain it. When you don't allow your body the time it needs to recover, you aren't just dulling sensation. You are slowly weakening the very systems that spark arousal in the first place. The blood flow slows down, and the veins which used to respond quickly now weaken and struggle to keep up. The connection that once felt so effortless, so full of warmth and life begins to fade. It's not just the physical side of things. It's an emotional depletion, too. It's like a slow but steady erosion of your ability to feel truly alive in moments of intimacy. Masturbation should be an opportunity to reconnect with your body, to recharge, and, experience pleasure in a way that feels nurturing and fulfilling. It shouldn't be a coping mechanism for emotional exhaustion or a way to stave off feelings of emptiness. When it becomes compulsive, mechanical, or an automatic response to stress or boredom, it transforms into something far more damaging. A thief. A quiet thief that steals away the drive, the warmth, and the connection your body and mind so desperately need. In these later years, intimacy should be a celebration of your body's wisdom, a deeper connection with yourself and a partner, not a hurried escape from life's pressures. But perhaps most surprisingly, even if you begin to space things out and give your body the recovery time it needs, there's still one hidden danger that continues to sabotage your nervous system, and it's not physical at all. It's emotional, and it's something that many men overlook as they try to reclaim their vitality. Mistake 4, using porn that hijacks the brain, starving real intimacy. Let me be brutally honest. This is the hardest conversation I ever have had with older men. Not because of shame, but because of the deep, soul-crushing loneliness it uncovers. The men I counsel aren't turning to pornography for excitement anymore. That ship has sailed. They turn to it to fill a void. A gap that once could be filled with real natural intimacy. It's as if they're chasing a phantom, grasping for something that was once so easily theirs, but now seems forever out of reach. But here's the tragic part. This chase becomes a trap. By the time they realize what's happening, the damage has already silently begun to spread, creeping beneath the surface like an illness. Modern pornography is a world apart from what it used to be. 50 years ago, it was much simpler and less addictive. But today, it's fast-paced, extreme, and engineered to overstimulate the brain in ways real-life connections simply cannot match. And that overstimulation, it rewires the brain. It hijacks your dopamine receptors, pushing them to react more strongly to artificial stimuli than to real human connections. Slowly, without realizing it, your ability to respond to real touch, real closeness, and real intimacy fades away. I've had men sit in my office with tears in their eyes, broken and lost, saying, "Doc, I don't feel anything when I'm with my wife anymore. I feel like I'm broken." And I want to tell them, you're not broken. You're conditioned. Your body has been rewired to seek pleasure in a way that is harming you. And this conditioning has affected one of the most important systems in the male body: circulation. Here's how it works. The brain is the command center for blood flow. But when you constantly flood it with artificial arousal, you short-circuit the natural flow of signals that trigger real-world blood movement. Your nervous system gets confused. Your emotional capacity shrinks. Over time, blood flow to the pelvic region weakens. Erections become unreliable. And intimacy that once felt beautiful, raw, and spontaneous starts to feel like a chore. Something you do because you have to, not because it's a gift. And here's where it gets even worse. After 62, when every vessel, every nerve, every signal in your body counts more than ever, this detachment is not just physically damaging. It's a deep assault on your identity as a man. It's not about guilt. It's about awareness. Your brain and your body want to feel again. But it all starts with one decision. You have to take control. You have to reset those patterns. You must reconnect with a kind of stimulation that doesn't rob you of your vitality. It restores it. That begins with making a change today, not tomorrow, not next week, today. And here's the hard truth. The longer you wait, the harder it becomes to regain what you've lost. I've seen it too many times. Good, strong men who waited just a little too long. They knew something was off. They felt their energy slipping, their connection fading, their drive disappearing. But they told themselves, "I'll fix it later." And later never came. Let me be clear. If you're over 62 and anything I've said here resonates with you, if any part of what I've described feels familiar, you must act now. Not tomorrow, not next week, today. Change doesn't have to be extreme. It doesn't mean denying yourself pleasure or cutting off everything that makes you feel alive. It means shifting your approach. It means working with your body, not against it. The good news, your body can respond faster than you think when you give it the right conditions. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment below to let me know that you are still here with me. Start by slowing down. Don't rush through private moments like they're just another task. Make them intentional. Focus on your breath. Relax your muscles. Engage your senses. If you're used to visual stimulation, try something softer. Maybe relying on memories or reconnecting with the touch itself. This small shift can begin retraining your nervous system and restoring healthy circulation. Give your body rest between sessions. Let it rebuild its hormonal balance and regain its sensitivity. Masturbation should never leave you feeling numb, tired, or disconnected. When done mindfully, it can become a tool for vitality, not depletion. And most importantly, if you've been relying on high-intensity pornography, it's time to consider stepping away from it. I know it's not easy. I know it's a challenge, but the more you remove yourself from these artificial extremes, the more you'll begin to feel again emotionally, physically, and intimately. Your brain will rewire. Your blood flow will respond. And that connection, the one you thought was lost forever, can begin to return. You're not too old for this. You're not too far gone. The best years of your life of connection, of confidence, of truly feeling like yourself again are still possible, but only if you act now. Change starts with a single decision, and that decision can ripple into every part of your life, your health, your relationships, your self-worth. I've learned this over 6 decades of working with men's health. Most men don't need more pills or more secrets. They need awareness. They need a plan. They need someone to be honest with them. In just a moment, I'll show you exactly what that plan looks like so you can avoid the silent mistakes that have brought you here. But for now, let's wrap this up together. Your health, your intimacy, your choice. If you've made it this far, I want to speak to you not just as a doctor, but as someone who genuinely cares about how you feel, how you live, and how you love. Because what we've talked about today is so much bigger than just masturbation. It's about circulation. It's about the quiet choices we make behind closed doors that slowly shape our health, our confidence, and our connection to the people we care about. I know this conversation can be uncomfortable. Most men have gone their entire lives without ever hearing a doctor say these things out loud, but silence has done enough damage. The 4 masturbation mistakes we've covered today aren't just bad habits. They're silent killers of vitality after 62. Rushing the act, holding your breath, failing to rest, and relying on artificial stimulation that replaces real intimacy. These aren't just physical problems. They affect your spirit, your relationships, your self-worth. But here's the truth. Every one of these habits can be unlearned. Your blood flow can improve. Your energy can return. Your sense of intimacy, real meaningful intimacy, can come alive again. It all starts with small conscious shifts. Slow down, breathe deeply, rest, choose connection over compulsion. These aren't just medical suggestions, they're lifelines. I've seen men in their 70s and 80s reclaim what they thought was lost forever just by making these simple changes. You're not too old to heal. You're not too late to feel again. As we wrap up today's conversation, I want to ask you, what have you learned so far? What stood out to you the most about the silent mistakes that are quietly undermining your health, your intimacy, and your confidence? Think about one key insight from this video that you will bring into practice in your own life. Is it slowing down and reconnecting with real intimacy? Is it taking control and deciding to change today before it's too late? Whatever it is, I'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share what you've learned and what step you plan to take next in your journey toward reclaiming your vitality and connection. If you found value in this video, please give it a thumbs up. Share it with others who might need to hear this message, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Your health, your intimacy, and your life can transform with just one decision today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.